Hello everyone, and welcome again to Daily Grace with Pastor James. So glad that you're joining me again in this series. We're still on the faith series, and a couple of weeks back we did take example of 3 categories of people that the Bible actually recommended that we should go and see how they do things, that it will help us in growing our faith. It will help us in actually living our faith. And those 3 categories of people, if you remember, we talked about the soldier, we talked about the athlete, and then we talked about the farmer. Now the farmer, it's an interesting one because the Bible constantly tells us that we should actually use the farmer as an example, as a way of living our faith. And today we're going to be talking about something that will make us zero in on the farmer and the way the farmer works. So we're going to be looking at planting in faith. In other words, sowing your seed in faith. How do we sow our seed in faith? There is a law that is called the law of harvest. We all want to be blessed. We all want the Lord to bless us, to increase our barn. But there is a law. There is principles. There are principles that you need to follow for you to actually reap this harvest, and it is called the law of harvest. The Bible tells us this in Genesis 8 verse 22. It says, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease. Seed time and harvest. In other words, there is a time that is called seed time, and there is a time that is called harvest time. But one thing I want you to know is seed time always precedes harvest time. So what are these key principles? What are these laws of harvest that we are going to take? And whatever we are talking about today, you can apply in any area of your life. You can apply in your relationship, you can apply in your health, you can apply in your career, you can apply in bringing up your children, even in your business. These laws would work for you. And the first law of harvest is that everything starts as a seed. Everything starts as a seed. The ideas that you have, it starts as a seed. Your dream starts as a seed. The achievements that you make start as a seed. This podcast started as a seed. Every single thing that is living on planet Earth starts as a seed. And Genesis 1:11, then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind. Please note that according to its kind, because it's something that we're going to look at, that whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. A seed actually is anything that is valuable that you give out. That is a seed. Anything valuable that you give out. The psalmist said this in 2 Samuel 24:24. David said, I will not offer burnt offering to the Lord my God with that which cost me nothing. If it costs you nothing, it is not a seed. The second principle, the second law of harvest says nothing happens until the seed is planted. Nothing happens until the seed is sown. If you fail to sow the seed, it remains a seed. But when you sow the seed, it then multiplies. It must be given away. It can't be in a bag. It can't be in your pocket and multiply. It must be given away. Jesus said this in John 12:24. He said, most assuredly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. A seed is worthless in a bag. Seeds are meant to be planted. Seeds are meant to be given away. So what are you planting? Are you still holding on to your seed? Planting and sowing is an act of faith, because whatever you give out, you don't know what is going to come back. Planting is risky because it might come, it might sprout, it might not sprout. But then you still need to plant. There is no farmer that will say because of the risk they are not going to plant seed, or because there is scarcity they are going to hold their seed in their bags. No, if they do that, then they are not going to reap any harvest come harvest. Mark 4:26-27. And he said, the kingdom of God is as if a man should scatter seed on the ground and should sleep by night and rise by day, and the seed should sprout and grow. He himself does not know how. He can't see it until it sprouts. The third law of harvest is when you have a need, when you have a need, you should plant a seed. When you have a need, you should plant a seed. When a farmer looks at its barren field and he sees that there is no crop, what does he do? He goes and gets the seeds and plants. He does not moan, he does not complain. He does not even go and start praying, God, bring harvest for me. Where is God going to bring the harvest? Because God is going to ask him, have you planted? Have you sown a seed? Sometimes you don't pray. You just need to sow a seed, and it is called seed offering. This is the law of sowing and reaping. Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, in the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this one or that, or whether both alike. Just keep sowing. Just keep sowing the good works. Just keep sowing the thing that you're doing, because it is going to pay off. You are going to reap the reward eventually. The fourth law, whatever you plant is what you will reap. If you plant a corn, you're going to reap corn. If you plant an apple, you are going to reap an apple. Whatever you plant, that is what you're going to reap. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. Whatever you sow, you are going to reap. And it works both ways, either good or bad. If you sow good, you will reap good. If you sow bad, you will sow bad. There are several examples in the Bible. Negative examples, Job 4:8, Proverbs 22:8, Hosea 10:13. You can read that on your own. And then the good examples, you can read Proverbs 11:18. You can read Hosea 10:12 as well. And then you can read James 3:18. You remember the story of Jacob. Jacob means a supplanter, a cheater. He cheated his brother, he cheated his father, and he was also cheated by his father-in-law. Whatever you sow, that you are going to reap. The fifth law, you are not the only sower. In other words, some people have sown before you, and you are reaping what they have sown. And whatever you sow now, your children, your grandchildren are going to reap. What are you sowing? I want you to sow positive things, sow good things, sow good seeds, so that the generations after you will reap good. Thank you so much for listening to me in this episode. If it has blessed you, please do share with others so that they can be blessed. They can sow their seed in faith. My name is Pastor James Egodibie, and I pastor RCCG, Solid Rock Parish, Derby, 55 Woods Lane, DE 22 3UD. If you are looking for a Bible-believing church, we welcome you with both arms and would love to see you worship with us. God bless you and see you in the next episode. Bye.